I'm Tracy with your weekly channeled oracle reading for January 25th through 31st, 2016. It is the last week of January. Can everyone say hooray? For in the what's this? The northern hemisphere, you know, we're moving out of winter. Not that it has been that bad of a winter for us, but it certainly still has been challenging and trying, for all winters really are. It really is a good time to hibernate, literally. All right, so I'm a walking advert for Nike. I am tired. I am exhausted. It is Sunday. Sunday is not a play day. Sunday is a relaxed day. It is a day to just be and to re-energize so that you may, go into the week with energy for that week to get through it. We are not robots. We're human beings, and we need to refuel and to recharge and to recover. And I think when the Lord made it a Sabbath, it was done for that exact reason. So not all things the Lord has said are bad. It's just perhaps because it was known as religion. So, last week, before we get into this week with Whitehawk, you guys know the drill, right, little hawks? Last week, it was deemed as fascinating, bringing us closer and closer to our fruits of desire. So, it's not always as it seems. Not like you're going to win a lottery, but there are things that are happening. So, for instance, with me, I had gone in on the Wednesday of the previous week and had dry needling done. It's a form of acupuncture. It is a more harsh form of acupuncture. So I had 5 needles done. I had it in the front, I had it in the back, up along the occipital. What is this called again? I can't remember what it's called. It's your really big shoulder. Oh, shoot, I can't remember. Anyways, he's lucky he even got 5 in me because I think I was crying out for mercy at one point. But I do believe sometimes there is some pain for gain, and I have a lot of problems. It's your trap. I have a lot of problems with my neck and shoulder, which causes a lot of problem with the headaches in my head with post-concussion. So it's just another part of my journey when it comes to completely healing the post-concussion symptoms that I can tend to suffer with. So I had that done. And totally being oblivious and not thinking that, oh, this is a form of alternative healing, like Reiki or cranial sacral, which is good to go in blind sometimes, because then I had a cleansing. In other words, it was working because everything that was trapped inside this injury, so I was probably storing whatever, anger there, hate there, past traumas there that I didn't release. I could even be storing drugs in there, because one time I think I had a needle for steroids in there to help with the pain that I can suffer in there. And so that probably all got trapped. Funny that it's in the trap, right? These are not coincidences, just so you know. It probably trapped all this stuff in the cells there. And so this past week, what I suffered from for 5 days, it started about on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I went through a purging, a cleansing, which masked itself and looked like or mimicked flu or cold symptoms, So I was just sweating up a storm. I was so tired I could not get out of bed. I dealt with queasiness in my stomach, and there were other things that occurred, and I went, yeah, the light bulb went on. I'm like, yeah, okay. Cleansing that can happen sometimes after alternative therapies, which means it was working, but it can be hellish, just so you know. So I'm like, okay, that's good. We're cleansing out energy, old wounds. I'm going to move forward in a better form in my life. New people, new locations, new is going to come into my life. It's all good. It's waking me up, right? And so then Wednesday, I'm lying in bed, and my daughter comes in. She says, "Mom, my jaw is really, really sore here. There's a mass, right, or whatever. It was like this, but the size of a small gumball." So I'm like, "Okay, let's go to the clinic." So we go to the clinic, and because it's right there where one of your boy, I'm just lacking words here. It's not a gland. It's another thing. Anyways, because she also had a bump on the back of her head here too. So I said, well, I'll go get them both checked. So this one's fine. The next day though, so the doctor says, oh, she's probably coming down with a flu, run down, la, 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 la. I'm like, okay, no problem. The next day we wake up and her face has just swollen up. So we go back to the clinic again. And another doctor, and he's like, no, that's a blocked saliva gland. So she got an infection through viral or bacterial somehow in her gland. Blew up, and I'm thinking, oh my God. So I get the Reiki on it because she is in a lot of pain. So blessed be Reiki. Get your Reiki. Reiki 1, Reiki 2. You don't have to be a Reiki master. You don't have to practice on anyone else. Get it for your children. Get it for yourself, for self-care. It's a very inexpensive form of alternative healing to get, but you will bring so many miracles into your life. If I hadn't had Reiki, I don't know what I would have done with my daughter while she sat there in pain. So, of course, we have to use, drugs to help her with that as well. But I sat there with my hands on her jaw here area, for like 30 minutes. When she moves away, I know she's had enough. And so every morning, this is what I was doing. And then she was hopped up on pain medications. And then, it went right behind her ear here, pulled her ear like this, right? At one point, it was pulling her eye. Like, that's how big it was stretching out. So I was praying. I kept doing Reiki. We kept medicating her. We kept taking her to the doctors to have it checked, because if it hadn't gone down, actually by today, we would have had to take her to the ER to have it drained, right? So, and they probably would have had to use needle or cut, and I was just praying, right? Please no, please no, please no. And so when we woke up this morning, thank God it had gone down. So I sent my prayers up for that. So it was an extremely fascinating week for me, or as I like to say, a write-off. It was a write-off of a week, one of those weeks, And so I'm looking forward to moving into this upcoming week and seeing what our wonderful Whitehawk says. And y'all may say, well, that's not really bringing us close to our heart's desire. And I'm saying, yes, it is, because in regards to the cleansing that what I went through, that just brings me closer and closer to my more authentic self. It gets rid of old wounds, past wounds that are going to allow me to get up, because now I've dealt with those wounds. They've been purged, they've been cleaned, and I'll be able to deal with situations like that probably better. And I'll invite new people into my world, new energy into my world. So that's why. And my daughter, I won't share with you what my thoughts are as to why this happened, but there isn't always a mental, emotional component that goes together with anything that happens to you in the physical. And so I wasn't surprised when this happened, when it manifested. And so I'm just blessed that it went down on its own, and blessed for Reiki, and blessed for prayers and doctors and all that stuff. So that was my week. So God bless. Let's shake it off. I don't know what happened in your week. I'm always looking for you guys to share. I understand it is personal, and sometimes it's a little difficult to think you're going to put it in the comments box down below, but there's always a way to share things without people really knowing. Okay, let's go see what Whitehawk has to say. Sorry. For this upcoming week. Indeed. The week in which you are about to enter will turn out to be another fascinating yet fabulous week. And the reason I state this is simply because the tables will be turned this week. In other words, whoever was trying to put one over on you, or was scorning you, or has been anything but polite to you, will now feel the full throttle of that back onto them. And so many of you think, well, great, revenge, or so on and so forth, or the karma bus, or so on and so forth. But the reality is that, yes, they are just receiving back that which that they put out into the universe is now coming back full throttle, full force, and attacking them. And so as you sit and you see all this unfold in front, majestically, as it unfolds majestically in front of you, you will scratch and you'll say, that is really, really interesting, actually. Because you never thought that the tables would turn. You never thought that this could happen to them, but indeed, it has. And so, give thanks this week as you go through the week, knowing that there is a just Lord, there is a good Lord, and that indeed He does watch over you, and He does take care of you, and He does love you. But remember, even when the tables are turned on you, He is a good Lord, and He does love you. Be blessed as you walk through a very interesting week indeed. God bless. Thank you, Whitehawk. So I love that. That'll be interesting to see. I love talking about karma. Remember, I have said, if you've watched me in the past, you've heard me say sometimes karma can happen immediately. It's the funniest thing, right? They do something to you and then they walk out the door and they trip or something, right? To me, that's like instant karma coming back. Sometimes we have to wait years and years and years for that to happen. One example I use is if you've watched the INXS movie about Michael Hutchinson and the tragic happenings and unfoldings of his life, and in the end, yes, he did take his own life. But before that, he had a daughter, and that daughter was, I cannot remember the actress, what's his name, because she's a UK actress, and but she was married at the time to another famous musician who did the Band-Aid. Oh dear, why isn't it coming to me? See, it's so hard because I can't organize for this, right? Because I don't know what Whitehawk's going to say, so it's not like I can go and research this. So hopefully you'll have the names, but I don't. But anyways, he did the Band-Aid. Starts with a G? Griffin, not Griffin. Geldof, Bob Geldof, and so he was married to this blonde-haired lady. TV personality, and Michael Hutchinson had an affair with her and then had a child with her, and they wanted to get married, but Michael's from Australia and Geldof's from England. And was that Peaches Geldof? Yes, I think it was. No, Peaches Geldof was his own daughter with this blonde-haired lady. So what happened is years later, so Bob Geldof would not allow Michael Hutchinson to see his own daughter. He wouldn't sign the form saying that they could travel outside the country to Australia where Michael was at the time. And so, essentially he never got to know his daughter. And at the time he had his other daughter, Peaches, and then you all know the tragic surroundings perhaps around that. Then Peaches just died, I think, maybe 5 years ago. There's a mysterious reason why she passed away. And so Bob Geldof had his daughter taken away from him at a young age. And so somehow that's how I see the karma train coming back, that now Bob Geldof will feel all the pain that Michael Hutchinson had to feel years earlier when he had his daughter taken from him because Bob wouldn't sign the sheet saying that the daughter could go outside the country with her mother. So, sometimes you do things and it does nip you in the bud 21 years, 25 years later. And I don't wish that on anyone, and I feel, sadness for Peaches Geldof and him as well. But sometimes that's how karma is. So check that movie out if you ever have an opportunity. So a little bit of a solemn ending there. Sorry about that. I didn't expect that. I never know what Whitehawk's going to say or what my ending is really going to be. But there you have it, my friends. So don't forget to join us on Google+, Twitter, Facebook for his dailies, his very long dailies sometimes, and If we can ever be of service to you, intuitivetracyroy.com for personal readings with us through a private YouTube video, as well as we can do one-on-ones through Skype, Google+, Hangouts, and FaceTime if you have any Apple products. So we'll see you here next week, guys. Sorry, I'm very relaxed this week. It was a tough week, but I wanted to get this out to you guys, and I wanted to say hello and send all my love to you, and we'll see you next week. God bless.